Welcome to Season 4, Episode 5 of the Rebel Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Dargy. Head on over to therebelrebelpodcast.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts for each episode and the show notes and links and all this stuff. In this episode, you're going to meet Ryan Phillips. He's a former pro hockey player turned cannabis kingpin turned inspirational human being helping other people in need all over the world. I can't wait for you to meet him. Welcome to the Rebel. Welcome to the Rebel. I'm your host, Michael Dargy, and I am sitting really safely distanced, across the country from Ryan Phillips. Ryan, how you doing, man?
Doing wonderful, thank you. Much appreciated, and very grateful to be on the show.
Right on. Thanks for coming. How's life out in BC right now?
Oh, God. How's life around the world? I think, whatever is going on is affecting everybody differently, but the same. We're having to readjust. We're having to, try to compartmentalize a lot of these certain aspects of this new world, new life kind of thing. And a lot of people are really battling a lot of stuff right now, mentally and physically and spiritually. And it just plays into all aspects of life. And, some people are getting hit harder than others. And, I consider myself to be one of the lucky ones. I got a roof over my head and I got I would say a very strong support network around me. So, no real complaints. If I did, I'm sure a few people would listen, but there's always someone worse off.
That's right. You've got, talk about, having it rough. You've been through the wars in a way. Hey?
Yeah, I would say so.
For those that don't know you, would you mind just giving us a little blurb on where you're at? I mean, you've got like this great documentary that you put out. You've had a life, dude.
Well, actually, it wasn't me that put out the recent documentary. It was National Geographic. So they gave me a call after I rode across the country of Canada and 4 other countries to advocate mental health awareness. And they thought my story was obviously something that could maybe, have some entertainment value and some, maybe giving back value,
yes.
With not,
some lessons.
It was an honor to be on that platform. And, I got flown out to London after crossing Canada on my bicycle to advocate mental health. And then I spent 21 hours in front of National Geographic telling my story. Grew up with a hockey stick in my hand from the age probably from 1 year old. I had a hockey stick in my hand. My dream was to play in the National Hockey League. And, that dream was very close to being realized. And, I did play professionally all through the junior ranks and whatnot. And unfortunately through, some major concussions and other adversities that came into my experience, my career was cut short. I became involved in the very highly lucrative BC marijuana industry at the time. Rebel with a cause maybe at the time. It kind of just fell in my lap. It was the beginning of the BC bud boom. There was a huge demand down in the United States of America for that cash crop.
I'm blown away. So if you don't mind, let me just sort of back up and unpack this a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. So you are, you dream of being a pro hockey player.
Yeah.
Your entire life. You become a pro hockey player. You played for Wichita Thunder and the Waco Wizards.
Yeah. Played for the Topeka Scarecrows as well. And that was...
so you're going to the show.
I was going to the show.
And for some reason you decide that BC Bud is the better way to go.
Well, it was just one of those things where I was, my injuries had impacted me on such a high level. And then the next thing I know, a few buddies came down. I was playing junior hockey at the time when I was 18. I was playing in Tacoma, Washington. And these guys would some of my buddies would bring down BC Bud in deodorant sticks, and it was that fast lane lifestyle. You know, all the athlete, the hockey players, the party with the guys that would sell the weed, just
Right.
all fast lane. You know how it is, that kind of rock star, so to speak, glamorous on the outside, but maybe not so glamorous on the backside. And you know, that culture can be quite detrimental to a lot of people's well-being. But at the time, they were like, "Can you get this? Like, you can get this weed? Like, how much can you get of this kind of stuff?" And I was like, "Well, I'm from BC. It's our kind of part of our culture." Next thing I know, that summer I was, 18 years old, driving my first little shipment of BC Bud across the border, and saw how lucrative it was. And within no time, I built kind of a little empire and pioneered that industry with, a bunch of athletes and stuff that I was surrounded with at the time. And, within a few years, it was built, within a year, it was, a multi-million-dollar business. I did pay the ultimate price after hockey was done. I did get caught on the other side of the border, which was kind of devastating, not just to me, but to my family as well. Definitely put a kink in my hockey career. And
you think?
I won't say I became a good boy right away. I got out. They told me that I was never going to be allowed back in the United States of America ever again because of the crime I committed. It was a conspiracy to distribute 103 pounds of high-grade marijuana. And I did over 500 days in a maximum federal penitentiary down in the United States.
Oh, shit. How was that?
It was a lot of fun. It was like, I guess it was like getting an education for being a criminal, which I never really considered myself to be. I was, brought up with values and honesty and integrity. And I was so young, I really didn't really know the ramifications of, what it was, to get caught, and never saw myself being in a prison cell. That's for sure. And, I got out and had a lot of remorse. I was told that I was never going to be allowed back in the United States of America again, where I had a daughter that was born and, being raised by her mother at the time. And I kept going at it. I took the business to another level. Our best year, I think we pulled in about $90 million worth of profit on marijuana sales. I had hundreds of people at that point working for me and with me at the time, and, fully encrypted BlackBerries hooked up to a server in Costa Rica, accountants running the business. I was traveling all over the world, running the business at the same time. It was just crazy stuff. And,
holy shit.
Yeah. So I guess that's why why National Geographic called it, the king of weed. So I guess I was at that time of my life, I was buying like 80% of the marijuana in my province of BC and shipping it down to outlets, my market, so to speak, in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, all through the coast. And I mean, if you're in the mid to late 90s, and I say up till about maybe 2007, 2008, if you were smoking high grade hydroponic marijuana that wasn't coming from California, because most of their stuff is coming from BC anyways. You guys are so far advanced now in that industry, but most likely you were smoking stuff that came from me. So I was never a violent guy, never shot a gun before in my life, still to this day. It really was just one of those things that kind of fell in my lap, and, accumulated a host of very fair weather friends, and it just, the bigger it got, the gang activity kind of got into it, and it was just craziness. It was, the best and the worst times of my life. It gave me the ability to travel all over the world, and and it gave me a real good education on the University of Life, so to speak.
Right. Well, and so talk to me about return to happiness.
Okay. Well, when I decided,
that seems to sort of go hand in hand, hey, from where you went to where you're going, and how because you're allowed back in the States.
Yes. Now, right? Yeah. I hate that word, humanitarian. I really do. I wish everyone could just be a good human. But what happened was in 2012, This is a couple years after I decided to, get out of the business, change my life, and really, try to be a positive influence, to the lives of others. And I called it Return to Happiness because I wasn't happy. I could have all the money in the world was not making me happy. And, the violence, the people that I lost to murder and suicide, addiction, associates that were going to prison and whatnot. Like it became very negative.
Wow.
So I gave it all up. I said, you know what, this isn't who I am. It was just something that I was doing, just like hockey, hockey was something that I did. It's not who I am. And, so I came up with the name Return to Happiness, started doing some videos and whatnot. And then it just started kind of perpetuating. And it got to the point where, I actually picked up a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I probably read that book like 300 times. And I followed, some instructions that you could be, do, or have whatever you want. And I followed these instructions. I wrote it down to the T of what I wanted. And it was to be of service to the world and be allowed back to the United States of America, which I had a lifetime ban. There was no way they were going to let an international drug smuggler back to the United States of America again. And I read this card over and over and over again that I wrote down to the letter from the actual philosophy that's in Think and Grow Rich. And I just said, I'm so happy and I'm so grateful to be allowed back to the country that I was banned from in the United States. I rode my bike across Cambodia in the year 2012, and the Department of Homeland Security got word of it. And the day after I actually rode across Cambodia for that cause, I woke up after flying from Cambodia to Chiang Mai, Thailand, and there was in my inbox there was a message from my father that the Department of Homeland Security found out that I did this selfless act, obviously, and it was with 20 other riders to help bring awareness to the cause of human trafficking and child sex slavery. And I was granted a humanitarian pardon. So I'm now able to go back and forth from the United States and Canada. And that was the first pardon of its kind that was given to, a gentleman such as me that made a mistake, made a poor choice, so to speak.
Wow. That story gave me chills.
It happened. So I believed it so much that literally my subconscious mind kind of picked it up. And, I was really just running on faith and just trying to do the next right thing. And, I just found that giving my own happiness and abundance came back to me in multitudes in ways that obviously was transmuted into its physical equivalent, which was me being allowed back across into the country that I love and has a huge place in my heart.
Wow. That's amazing. And obviously you get to see your daughter again. And all the stuff that comes with that. So where are you at now? Like what's sort of next on your list?
Well, unfortunately with the world pandemic right now, there's not a lot of options. My goal was as soon as I was done finishing Canada, was to prepare to ride across the United States of America for the same cause. And so once things are cleared up, and let's hope it's sooner than later that things get back to another new normal, whatever normal is. Hop back on that bike, but this time I'm not going to do it alone. I did Canada by myself, and we documented the whole thing. This time it's going to be with, I'd like to have a lot of people behind me on this and, make more of a movement with it and, really give back to, mental health, because right now mental health and addictions is taking way more people out than the actual pandemic. What do addicts go to? What's their go-to? Isolation. People with depression and mental health issues isolate. And unfortunately, I just heard a few days ago that, suicide rates have gone up 40% in the United States of America since the pandemics actually started. So with that being said, it's, I find it's my responsibility because, I've taken a lot of these head traumas and suffered, some mental health issues myself that I do my best to combat with, positive reinforcements on a daily basis and just being grateful just to, have a voice. And so if I can, use my platform to give back and help others, and even if it's helping just one person, then, I can lay my head down at the end of the day on the pillow and feel that I've done something of value to humanity. And, it's all about giving back to me now. It's, I took enough from the world as far as money and, we do need money to survive with the three necessities of life, obviously food, clothing, and shelter. But at the same time, it's, giving a positive message of hope back to the people of the world that no matter what they've gone through, there always is hope. If they're breathing, if they're alive, if they're in the present moment, there is hope. And so I just ride on faith, my friend.
That's awesome, dude. That is so good.
Yeah. So, and I was, very blessed to do a couple of TED Talks, on, it was, I was never a public speaker before this. I did enough hockey interviews back in the day, but, TED, they came to me after my ride across Cambodia. So I was, really blessed to do a TED Talks on that. And then after going across the country of Canada, I was flown out to Malaysia to do another TED Talks on mental health. So I never applied to do a TED Talks, but they came after me. I guess they thought that I could speak okay. And, I'm kind of one of those guys that likes to fill his mind with knowledge and to the best of my abilities. The more I think I know nothing. But, at the end of the day, if I can just do things that, not only, help myself, get through the day, but, I can help other people get through their days better and with less stress and, with less, say those heavy emotions that a lot of people are going through right now, especially with, the economy right now is taking a beating, not just in the United States, it's everywhere. Everything in all aspects in some way is being affected. And so it's almost like I feel like I rode across Canada in 2019 for like these times, because a lot of what I was actually going through and seeing what people were going through in the mental health aspect, I'm seeing way more people going through those kind of, unfortunates now than even when I was doing it. So I'm just one of those guys that just, whatever I can do with this physical apparatus that you see in front of the screen, I want to use it all up before I check out. So gotta do my best every day.
That's wicked. Sorry, excuse me one sec. What are the 5 things that you just wish people knew?
Well, I think it all comes down to compassion and kindness, and really implementing that into their daily structure is just treating people kind and realizing that we're all fighting some sort of internal battle at the end of the day. And, not to judge people. And I think we've all been guilty of that in many times of our life. I know I have. But to judge one is to judge yourself. And I believe that we're all connected in some way, shape, or form. They say 6 degrees of separation. I think the world's getting a lot smaller than that these days, especially through the web, just even you and I having a conversation like this, we're connected. So, you say 5 things that there's so many things that go into, I don't know. I could run down a list. I think number 1 is, the relationship that you have with yourself, not letting any mental illness or anything define you other than you. It's you that defines you, and being able to actually, be okay with who you really are. And you're a very unique, special human being that's on this planet, and how you, present yourself to the world is ultimately up to you. And, I just, even if I'm having a down day, I still do my best to, put on we all wear masks sometimes, but, I'm one of those guys that, I try not to leave the house if I'm in a bad mood.
Oh, nice.
I try not to even answer the phone if I'm in the bad mood, if I'm in a bit of a bad mood. So, I think just doing the best we can with what we have,
That's awesome.
Using the tools that we have that are in front of us, and just being able to actually use those tools in a positive manner, so to speak.
Yeah, right on. Talk to me about concussions.
Yeah. So concussions is obviously a traumatic brain injury. I suffered my first major concussion. It was my draft year going into the National Hockey League, and I got hit from behind. I was lucky I didn't break my neck. I was able to tuck my chin underneath right at it's like fast, high impact game. Obviously, I was going full speed towards the net, and I crashed against the boards going full speed. Smoked my noggin like it was nobody's business. Broke my shoulder in 3 places, dislocated at the same time. So not only did I suffer a concussion, I also broke my shoulder, a few different injuries all at once. And then once you get one concussion, it leaves you very susceptible to, having another one, then another one. So, it's just one of those things that it happened, but it affected me more as I got older. You're a lot more resilient when you're younger, as far as, mentally, physically, emotionally, even sometimes. And a lot of these symptoms started coming back over the last few years, and, I had to take action or no action. So for me, I'm a kind of a solution-based ideas guy. And, for me, it's taking the proper multiple vitamin, fish oils, exercise, the proper breathing. I do anything and everything I can do, associating ourselves with the right people, positive energy. We're not always going to be positive, like I said, but at the end of the day, it's, trying to, form a nice little support network around you that's going to, help you instead of, bring you down, help rise you up in the times where we all need uplifting at the end of the day.
Yep.
And it's all about community and unity when it comes down to, my belief system that, it's power in numbers, that, the more that we can come together as one, the more that we can have fun at the same time and really make a positive impact in the lives of others.
That's awesome. So let's talk about that for a second. So one of the parts about this show that I just love so much is, getting creative rebels. And I mean, you're a rebel. Jeez Louise. But there's other people out there that, maybe have been to jail, or maybe they're starting a business or have a business idea, or they're thinking about taking on something extra that they've never done before. And I call these people the rebels in waiting. What advice would you give to people that are like struggling right now? What helped you, I guess?
I would say that, there's no quick fix to a brain injury. For people that are struggling is to really probably realize that they're not as messed up as they really are.
Yeah.
And, our mind can take us to some pretty dark places. I've been to those dark places. I think the majority of humanity has. My advice is that if you're really struggling, is to, really connect to every resource possible. I always tell people, that I talk to, I go on a lot of shows, a lot of radio shows, a lot of podcasts and whatnot. And, I've recently made my Instagram, public. So it's, in the last, like I would say maybe 3 or 4 months. So not super recently, but, even myself, reach out to me and I can maybe like lead you down the right way, lead you down the right path to, get some help and, get you on the right track. And once you get into that flow, Obviously life isn't, it's not always smooth sailing as it is. So, it can be a bumpy road, but it can be less bumpy when we have the right support network. So, I'd be happy to, give you, some of my information.
Yeah.
And if I can't give the right information, I can always lead that person down the right path to, it's all about getting well at the end of the day, and training our mind to rethink in ways that are maybe getting ourselves into better habits, so to speak.
Yeah, right on. What's complete non sequitur? What's your favorite dinner?
My favorite dinner. Great question. I love pizza, but it doesn't set too well with my gut these days. And I love to cook. I've been trying to eat very healthy these days, just really for my mental and physical health.
Yeah.
But I don't know, anything Italian.
Right on.
I love Italian food. Yeah, spaghetti, meatballs, pizza, all that kind of stuff. I know it's not the greatest thing in the world for you, but everything in moderation, right?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, I like Thai food too. I spend a lot of time over in Southeast Asia, so. I like, authentic Thai food. Vietnamese food's great too.
Yeah.
I like anything that tastes good.
Right on. Do you have like a morning routine that you do every single day, or you try to get yourself, running right?
You know what? I do and I don't. 5 days of the week, there'll be days I wake up at say 4:35 in the morning.
Yeah.
I go down to the lake. I live close to a lake, and I'll grab a coffee and just sit down there and kind of, take some deep breaths and just be grateful for the lake in front of me and being, connected to nature.
Yeah.
Answer usually a few emails here and there, get my butt to the gym and put in maybe like an hour of cardio and some light weights. Fuel my body with the right nutrition.
Yeah.
And just, I like to write. So, I do a lot of writing. I got my own podcast that I'm doing right now. So, I do a lot of research and development on my guys that I have that are coming on. So,
and you got some big names on there, and I've been listening. It's a lot of fun. You want to let's
yeah, I guess, that's, being blessed, obviously being part of the sporting community. It's not, I just, reach out to, some guys that I've been friends with in the past, and, they're always happy to come on and tell their stories. So I don't know if anyone's ever interested, all about cross promoting. I'll definitely would love to be able to help you in any way, but, my podcast is all over the map. I'm a little bit all over the map, and I've been all over the map, and most of my guests have been all over the map too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's, all over the map podcast. You can subscribe on Spotify if you want.
Right on.
And
I'll put all the links in the show notes.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Are you, so, I mean, do you read quite a bit?
I do. Yeah. I've read thousands of books.
Really? Do you have any that sort of stand out as sort of the books to read?
Well, my favorite go-to life book is probably this book right here. Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, that's been well read. Hey.
Yeah, it's been I've read this book actually probably 300 times.
Yeah.
And this is the book that helped me get back down to the States. This is what I attribute it to, is following. It took 25 years to write. So the principles are very tried, tested, and every time I've actually, put these principles into action, they've worked. And actually it's funny. I look back on this yesterday, and at the front of the book, I said, I'm so grateful for the specialized knowledge in this book. I will study and master this philosophy until it is sound, and I will share with those people who are ready for it. And then it was funny because that's like when The Secret came out and all that. And then I had one of the guys from The Secret sign it for me, and I ended up at his house, and he actually did the foreword to a book I wrote. So, yeah, it's kind of funny how it works. Everyone says law of attraction. I think it's law of vibration. We're we're all in a frequency. We're all in a everything's vibratory energy. So we're always, vibrating and attracting, and it's just kind of the way it is. Right. So it's, that's definitely one of my go-to books. Dr. Joe Dispenza is another guy that I've been kind of in tune with lately. He's got great work on like mind, body, and brain heart coherence. God. You know what? I had a library literally with like probably over 1,000 books. And I read so many of these books that I actually donated all my books away except for Think and Grow Rich. And it's just, I digested a lot of them, and I thought, I don't need all these books anymore. Yeah. And, I kind of live these books anyways. So, maybe in different ways, but, I implement, a lot of principle. I'm a kind of principle based guy, like, core values and whatnot. And number one is just treating people with respect, and, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on expands. So if we're thinking about something long enough, it's just like the old Buddhist philosophy says, we become what we think about all day long. So I really don't want to be anybody other than me, but I also want to, have a fulfilling life. So for me to be fulfilled is usually doing things like selfless acts of kindness and, riding across countries and doing crazy shit like that.
Right on.
Yeah. Not selling marijuana anymore in the thousands of pounds.
Right on.
So.
Oh, that's great. What's your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure. Yeah. God, I'm such an innocent guy now. I don't think I'm ever guilty. My guilty pleasure is marijuana legal where you are?
Oh yeah. I'm in Canada.
Okay. You're in Canada. Okay, perfect. Well, I don't feel guilty when I smoke marijuana, right? But, it's definitely a pleasure.
Yeah.
Nothing sexual. Too old for you porn and whatever the hell else is on there. I don't really divulge myself into porn anymore. God.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe it's like, a double chocolate devil cake or,
actually, you know what it is? It's these new Reese's Pieces chocolate bars that just came out.
Oh, they're the devil.
They have like caramel with tiny little Reese's Pieces on it. My God, I buy two at a time, but two's never enough.
That's what I'm talking about. That's like the crack cocaine of candy bars.
Oh my God, they're so good. I think after we get off this show, I might go grab 10.
Yeah, right on. That's awesome. Do you still play hockey? Do you play any pickup hockey?
I wish I could, but right now the rinks are shut down due to what's going on. Oh. And, even the junior hockey teams out here, they're, they don't have any fans in the stands. No. It is what it is. I wish I could get out there and be skating. It really helps me with everything it's being in hockey shape. There's nothing like it. So
yeah, I guess.
Unfortunately right now it's the gym, it's light weights, it's the treadmill and going for walks in nature. It's pretty much
awesome. What's the most Canadian moment you've ever had while traveling?
Oh, that's an easy one. Hitting Thunder Bay and seeing where Terry Fox stopped his run. Yeah. And I remember hugging that statue and I had tears in my eyes because I remember when my mom told me that Terry Fox passed away back in 1981 after having to cut his run short. But when I was literally, when I hit Thunder Bay and saw that statue up there, it literally, it ignited a fire from within that propelled me even forward, to get to the other side of the country. And we all know, being Canadians, Terry Fox is just, I'm not into hero worship, but he's definitely a hero to me.
Yeah. If you're going to, he'd be the one.
And I could feel that energy even too. I could feel the goosebumps on my body. I started off at Mile Zero where there was the Terry Fox Pavilion there in Victoria. Yeah. And then when I got to Thunder Bay, it was like I almost felt like he was with me the whole way. Maybe that was the power behind me.
Wow.
Because I know right now there's no way I could go do 130 kilometers, or maybe I could if I had Terry on my shoulder.
Oh God, yeah. What a trip. What's your favorite?
That's what I said every day after doing big long.
Right?
Yeah.
But your calves must be just awesome, though.
Yeah, I could probably still slam dunk a basketball.
How tall are you?
6 feet, half an inch. Last I checked.
Awesome. Oh God, this has been so much fun. I really don't want this to end, but we'll leave it here. Ryan, you're a huge inspiration, and now more than ever, we need more positive people in the world sharing that stuff. I can't wait to listen to more of your podcast, to catch more of your adventures. Is there anything else you want to share with people?
I guess, in these times of drastic change, we're living in the so-called great disconnect, is to do our best to stay connected to the people that really matter in our lives the most. And, just like I said it before, just treat people kind, be kind to yourself, try to have as much hope as possible for, just for today and for the days to come. You never know what's going to be thrown at you, but I believe that, with hope and faith that we all have the resiliency to get through these times, and, we're all going to come out better in the end. So just really do our best to stay positive and try to put a smile on your face when you wake up, and pay it forward, man. Pay it forward.
Right on. Ryan, you're a freaking hero, dude.
Thank you. I'm not too good with compliments, but I'll take that.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you very much. Infinite gratitude, my friend.
Thank you for listening to the Rebel Podcast. It's a podcast for creative rebels and entrepreneurs. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcasts. You can also support the show and help shine a light on more amazing people doing incredible things by donating at therebelrebelpodcast.com. I'm your host, Michael Dargy. Until next time.